Alright, let's take a look at the polar array tool. On your modify panel, you'll find the polar array tool listed here with the other array commands. Polar array allows us to take an object and array it around a center point. When we select array polar, it asks us to select objects. I want to select these two objects. Hit enter. AutoCAD then prompts me for the center point. I'm going to use my object snap override for center point and select this circle. You'll notice that by default it adds about 6 objects. In this example, we want to array the gear 36 times about the center. So up on your ribbon, I want to change 6 to 36, and you'll notice that AutoCAD will array that tooth around the actual object. Now, to array the second object, I'll repeat the process. Select the circle, hit enter, specify my center point, which is the center of the gear, and you'll notice that it starts off with 6 objects. Let's go ahead and change that to 8, and now we have 8 objects around the array. An array is a single object, so once you array it, you can click on it and go up and make changes. So if you decided, I really wanted 18, we could type in 18, or we could change it back to 36. Until you explode the array, AutoCAD will treat it as a single object. Now, when you create your dartboard with this assignment, you want to array the lines rotated, and you want to array the text non-rotated. Okay, there is an option that allows you to select rotate items or not rotate items. Let's take a look at the trim command. The trim command is located on your modify panel. You'll see it up here in the upper right hand corner. You have trim and extend on the same button. Go ahead and select trim, and when you use the trim command, AutoCAD prompts you to select the cutting edge. Now, the cutting edge is the object you want to trim to. Let's say that you wanted to trim the red lines on the outside of the black circle. Well, the black circle would be your cutting edge. Select the circle, hit enter, and then AutoCAD prompts you to trim the objects. So if I click on each object, AutoCAD will trim that. The trim command has a built-in crossing window, so I could draw a crossing window very quickly and trim all of those objects. Okay. Let's say I wanted to trim the text out that's over let's say I wanted to trim the lines on top of the text. So I'll start the trim command. My cutting edge would be the text object. Select the text object, hit enter. Now I can click on the red lines on top of the text. Let's repeat that process, and this time I want to trim in between each red line. I want to trim the circle out and remove part of the circle between every other red line. I'm going to start the trim command, and this time it says select objects or select all. If I hit enter, every object in the drawing becomes a cutting edge. So now I could zoom in and trim in between each red line. If you make a mistake, you can always right click and select undo. There's no easy process. You just have to go through and click on each click on the circle in between each line. And if you miss, you can just do a crossing window through the part. There we go. Now that's using the trim command with this object. Now, one part of the trim command, you'll notice here it says select objects to trim or shift to extend. I'm going to use the trim command to create something that looks like a panel door. I'll start the trim command, press enter for selecting all objects. I'll hold down my shift key, and then I will extend these objects. I'll need to extend this one 3 times to get it up to the very top. Once I extend it, let off of the shift key, and then I can trim out the intersections. So with one command, you can trim and extend. Like I said earlier, if you make a mistake, you can right click and select undo. Okay, let's take a look at formatting Mtext objects. I want to double click on this existing text objects to get me inside of the text editor. When you're editing Mtext, you'll notice across the top you have the ribbon. Now this ribbon has different settings that we're going to look at. First of all, I want to take a look at a feature called columns. You'll notice down at the bottom of the paragraph is this double arrow. This will allow you to take your text objects and adjust the columns. So if you wanted several columns of text, AutoCAD will allow you to do that. Okay, I can go in and adjust this. So you can have multiple columns of text very easily. You don't need to create 3 separate objects. This is just one running text object. It's a very long paragraph. Okay. I'm going to undo that and show you some other features. While you're working with text, you can highlight existing text. You can change their color. You can change the font that AutoCAD is using. So if you wanted a different font, if you wanted to change the text size of the highlighted text, I want to make this 0.2. If you want to change the justification of that line of text, you can go up here to your justification. AutoCAD supports bullets and numbering. For example, if you wanted to create a series of numbered objects, we could go up to bullet and numbering and select numbered, for example, or you could select bulleted. We also have lettered, so if you wanted these to be like lower or uppercase A, B, or C. AutoCAD, the Mtext editor in AutoCAD is like a mini word processor. You have the ability to edit the text, ability to change the formatting. On this particular lesson, you're going to go in and make a lot of adjustments on the formatting of the text. So a couple of things we need to look at is the paragraph spacing and paragraph formatting. You can highlight text, and then you can click on this arrow that will load up your paragraph dialog box. So you can add spacing before and after the paragraph. You can adjust your tabs. One of the easiest ways to adjust your tabs is on the ribbon. I could come in here and adjust the paragraph tab or the first line indent. With that, you can adjust the width of the paragraph by clicking on the ruler and sliding it back and forth. Okay. If you wanted to insert special characters, we have the symbol feature where you could add special characters. If you want to change the formatting of the text, we have obliquing angle, or the tracking, or the width. So let's say you wanted the title to appear wider. we could go up to formatting, adjust the width, and you could change that. So those are some basic features of the Mtext editor. When you work on your assignment, take the time to look at all the different features. Once you're done editing, click outside the text editor, and it's complete.